Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. They go play action here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Rice. And that one results in 35 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards it. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way.
And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. Luke Kuechly in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3.
And the pressure gets to him again. Sean Lee in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Young off the bootleg. And that is going to be incomplete. A 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. And that makes him now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions, because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
The Madden Elite's offense coming back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Lawrence Taylor in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. And it is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field.
And this results in 6. Touchdown! Randy Moss, 31 yards. And the Madden legend's able to cut into that lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that'll be incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. I'm sure he... He wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Doesn't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Here's Breeze to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Breeze will try again on second down. And this is incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics. and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over. When it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it.
And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Khalil Mack able to run him down for a loss of a yard. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Here's Vick. He'll get this one off to Sanders. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll lead here to a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of the These meetings along the way, sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to
try to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Rod Woodson with a pick, and he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Allen, the intended receiver. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
With a give to Sanders. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They run with a Hall of Famer, Sanders. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. They will indeed go for it. Vick eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed.